Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is June 9, 2021. This is the midweek edition. The market has been teasing us by having the S&P 500 get near the all-time high in the last two trading sessions, then have it back away from it. From these price action, you probably are thinking the S&P 500 will not make another high. But based on what the market has been telling us, it is not a question of if the S&P 500 will make another new high. It's a question of when the S&P 500 will make another new high. In this video, we'll look at the recent price action of the S&P 500 and the other major market indexes and see where they are headed. In addition, we will also take a look at oil and gold. Stay tuned. Before we look at the price action of the S&P 500, let's take a look at today's market internal and the sentiment. On this 1 minute chart, we see the S&P 500 been trading in a range of 8 points throughout most of the session. And most of the time it was trading with a gain. Only during the last hour or so, it turned negative and it ended the session with a loss of 7.7 points or 0.18%. On the VIX, we also saw it move up just a bit to near 18 toward the close. For the up-down volume ratio, it turned negative in the last hour of trading, finishing the session at minus 1.22 or 1.2 times more down volume than up volume. The daily advance decline was also positive until near the close, in which the decliners outnumbered the advancer by a margin of 174. In light of all these last hour negatives, the new 52-week high outnumbered the new 52-week low throughout the session, and closed the session with 368 more new highs than new low. Also, the put-call ratio is at extreme bullish level of 0.37. So it appears the sentiment and the internal are giving us mixed messages. And since it is OPEX Wednesday and tomorrow the market is expecting the latest CPI readings, the market participant could just be lightening up their position to avoid adverse market movement from the CPI numbers. Let's take a look at the index, starting with the S&P 500. This is the daily chart of the S&P 500. As you can see, that we saw this on Tuesday, and today it came up pretty close to this 4238 level. As a matter of fact, I believe this one came up to 4236.74, and today it came up to 4237.09. And then both of these sessions, the S&P 500 got close to the 4238 and it appeared that it might be coming up and tagged that all-time high, and then it just backed up. So right now it is still underneath this upper price channel trend line. So we'll be watching for a potential breakout above this 4238. Remember I said in the earlier weekend video, we were saying that going to keep an eye to see will it be able to stay above this 4238. Or will it just spike up and then come back in? And if that's the case, then we have to be prepared for a lower low and possibly come back down and test this these pivot low here somewhere around 40.60. But if it could stay above this breakout, the all-time closing high and all-time high above the 42.38, then we'll be basically watching this 43.42, this 127 extension. And that is based on the swing here, a Fibonacci retracement swing with a 127 extension. Remember, we're still waiting for the E-mini S&P 500 Globex all-time high, the 42.38.25 to get tagged. And when that gets tagged, then we expect the S&P 500 will also make its way above this 42.38 level. And here we're looking at the NASDAQ 100. Remember, we were talking about getting above this 13,713, and if we could take out this pivot high, then we're essentially looking for the NASDAQ 100 to make a move on the all-time high of 14,073. Today, it appeared that the NASDAQ 100 was trying to do some catch-up while all the other indexes turned negative. The NASDAQ 100 is actually positive for the day. So we're going to see will it continue to make a little bit of a catch-up and get back in line with the S&P 500 and the other major market indexes. So we'll be watching to see will it be able to come up and take out this all-time high. And if it does, then here's that 127 extension, 14,584. And this That extension is based on this particular swing, the Fibonacci retracement with this 127 extension. Now, if it decides to pull back once again, we're going to be looking for this 13,280 and see would that be able to hold and provide some support. If it doesn't, then we essentially are looking for a move back down to somewhere around this 13,000 level at these pivot low. And the Russell 2000 is the big surprise of the recent session. You can see that once it broke back above this descending trend line here and took out the 2297, remember we were saying that once it take out 2297, then we'll make a play on the all-time high. And it is getting close to that right now. Today it finished at the 2327 and the all-time high is at 2360. So that's only 33 points away from the all-time high. So we could see the Russell 2000 make another all-time high. Now the Dow Jones Transportation continue to pull back. Remember we're talking about these level here, somewhere around this 15,300. And right now it seems to be testing that level. So we're going to keep an eye on to see would it be able to hold. If it doesn't, then we're essentially looking for it to come down to this 15,000 area. So right now the transportation is appear to be the weakest index among all the major market index right now. Although the Dow Jones Industrial is not doing that much better than the Dow Jones Transportation, but it does have one thing that is still telling us that we should see the Dow Jones Industrial to come up and at least close with a new all-time closing high, and that is the Dow theory that is still in effect. So right now it came back into this price channel, so we want to see would it be able to make another move and get back above this price channel upper trend line and put in a new closing high. Now let's take a look at the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield came down today to this 1.53 location here at this support level. So we're going to see would it be able to just chop around down here and then maybe make a little bit of a bouncing move up, back up. And as you can see with the yield going down, we're also seeing the dollar popping up a little bit, but not that much. You know, one would think that with the yield going down, then the dollar would be coming down. And that also translates that gold would be going up, but it didn't go up. Gold is still kind of chopping around inside of this consolidation area. Remember I was saying that I'm expecting some consolidation here. So if it come back down to 1846, then I will be looking for some sort of a setup to play a long swing back to the 1923. Then if it could break that 1923, then I'd be looking at this 1960 level. And also for silver, it's still chopping around between this 2667 and 2950. So we expect it to consolidate in this area here and maybe make another test down near this 2667. So we'll see would silver come down or would it continue to just level off here, consolidate, and then wait for a push to get back up to the 2950. And finally, looking at crude oil, see, it's getting up there to that above that 70 level. Is right now just pulling back a little bit and close today at 69.96. Remember, 75 is a target. You know, we're still looking at 75. Yes, strange as it may be, you know, in the pandemic, one would think that oil should not be this high, but there are other fundamental and macro is in play. So keep an eye on the 75 level. There you have it. This is a quick midweek review. We're still looking for the S&P 500 to come up and put in a new high. And also we are still waiting for the Dow Jones Industrial to close with a new closing high. Although today the sentiment and the internal is giving us a little bit of a mixed messages. It could be because, like I said, due to OPEX Wednesday and also the CPI coming out tomorrow. So the market participant is basically just lining up their position. So they don't want to get caught when the market move adversely based on the CPI numbers. So I guess we just keep an eye on to see how the market react tomorrow when the CPI come out. But in regardless, the question is not if the S&P 500 will make a new high. It's a matter of when the S&P 500 will make a new high. So don't forget to smash that thumbs up to help me promote and share this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.